Welcome back. Daily Dose, Wednesday, February 22nd, 2017. It's the middle of the week, and it's time for The Lounge. With me, luckily for me, I-24 News culture correspondent Maya Margit. Hello.
Hello.
And as you've seen, it is Wednesday. It's the day of the week that I think everybody hates, don't you?
Hump day, yeah.
Thank you. It's
Hump
like in Yiddish, one would say, nicht daher und nicht daher.
Okay.
You know? It's like, yeah, whatever you say.
Whatever
Maya,
you say.
Yeah, Maya Margit, what do you have for us in culture this week?
So, a new study just came out. This is one of the top headlines in culture right now. Women protagonists in film, leading the pack in 2016. This is a record-breaking year. It was a record-breaking year for women in film in Hollywood.
Right.
In the 100 top grossing films, women led 29% of these top 100 grossing films in Hollywood in 2016.
Mainstream films,
Mainstream,
not Sundance,
not Sundance, not indie, only mainstream
Yeah.
Hollywood top grossing films. This is up 7% from the year before. It's a record. It's never happened
unbelievable.
before.
Okay, it's unbelievable. And like top grossing, we're talking like women action. What did we have? We had
Mostly comedy, some science fiction, some drama, Arrival, Ghostbusters, different movies like that.
Arrival. Yeah.
And then directors, on the other hand, almost no female directors. 7% of top grossing films were led by females. Female directors, only 7%.
Say that again.
7%.
7% only.
Only 7%,
7%.
down 2% from the year before. So things are actually getting worse. And apparently, Hollywood might be sued because of this. Because
it's incredibly
they're saying there's some
chauvinist.
kind of discrimination in hiring female
So?
directors.
Yeah, you think? Yeah.
I definitely think there's a
I
case
think
there
that's
for them.
a slight warning. If only 7% of women, 7% of the entire 100% of the
It's
directors
actually kind
is
of
women.
shocking, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, moving along.
Moving along, South African photographer Roger Ballen, one of the most famous photographers in the world. He's known for his very dark aesthetic, kind of creepy looking photographs and images
All
and
the stuff
videos.
you like.
All the stuff we like to look at is
Okay.
I enjoyed anyway.
And he was in Israel?
He was in Israel for a new exhibition, a new project.
Okay, well, first of all, let's take a look at what this new project was, and then he'll tell us how incredibly personal you got with him. Let's take a look.
Haunting images rising up from the depths of the imagination. From the surreal to the downright nightmarish, South African photographer Roger Ballen's dark aesthetic comes to life in his latest project, The Theater of Apparitions. It all began when he saw a blacked-out window in a women's prison and decided to scratch out drawings. On show in Israel for the first time, it took Ballen 8 years to finish the series. The apparitions come alive in an animated film springing straight from the artist's subconscious. Ballen's earlier work documented the poor and mentally ill in Johannesburg, South Africa, the city he calls home. Many have described his photos as grotesque or disturbing, but the art world is fascinated with these images. In fact, Ballen is one of the most collected photographers alive. One of the things that shot him to stardom, the music video, I Think You Freaky. Ballen combined with the South African rap group The Antwoord to make the clip. And the video now has tens of millions of views on YouTube. So what's next for Ballen? A book called Ballenesque, which will look back on more than 40 years of photography, video, and drawings. And one that Ballen hopes will capture the horrors and wonders of his unique aesthetic.
Maya, you freak. If I were your boyfriend, I'd be very, very concerned right now. But you had a chance to sit with them, Ballen, right?
I sure did, yeah.
How was it?
Quite intense.
Okay, this will be the one-on-one of Maya Margit with this amazing
You often
creator.
mention a
Let's
kind
take a
of-
look.
You often mention a kind of journey into the psyche in your work, and I see sort of a reference to Carl Jung and his psychology. Would you say that you're kind of trying to document your own voyage through your unconscious with these works?
You're absolutely right. I think you're correct in what you say. It's a voyage into the interior, but where the conscious mind starts, where the subconscious mind starts, where they both end, where they overlap, where you're talking about something you can't actually define.
Many people have described your work as being spooky or grotesque. want to generate a kind of discomfort when people look at your work?
Not really. Most of art just reinforces what we know already. It's soothing and puts you to sleep, basically. So I think it's important for me that art actually pierces the mind and stays with the person and helps the person.
Regarding the marginalized characters or people that you photographed in South Africa, how exactly did you find these people?
In the early days, I would drive around trying to find something or somebody that interested me, and if there's some sort of attraction between me and them, I guess. These people were transformations through Roger Ballen's mind and through his camera.
Have you ever had the chance to work in Israel before?
I got here in January 1st, 1974. It was a very tumultuous time in Israeli history. It was right after the war, and the country was really in a state of shock.
Some countries, like South Africa, are actually very supportive of the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, or BDS movement. Many of these BDS supporters discourage artists from coming to Israel to work. What do you think about that?
I think it's garbage. It's just hypocrisy. Why don't they persuade people to go to most of the countries in Africa who have worse issues that they're trying to reflect on than here? So the thing is, if you try to understand politics in the world, you just want to forget about mankind.
Who would you say is your biggest artistic influence?
Roger Ballen. Yeah, okay. Roger Ballen. You learn from what you do. And there's no better person to learn from what you do than yourself.
Now, Maya, how long has Ballen been creating?
4 decades.
4 decades, much longer than us. Thank you. We'll be right back with the news.